Chapter 6. Swallowed by the Python. The next morning, Robert woke up and crawled out of the cave while scratching his stomach and yawned. Just as was yawning, he looked outside the cave and was stunned. The forest was covered with snow, and there was a thick layer of snow outside. Is it winter season already? Robert was confused about this, but he didn't care about this now. He looked at the system panel and saw he already has 3 evolution points. He didn't use the flower given by White Fang, because it's a waste to use it now. He can get 100 evolution points from the flower. If he uses it right now, he can easily get 10 evolution points. But what about the remaining points? Will he get the remaining points? Robert didn't know about this, and he didn't dare to gamble about this. So he saved it for next time. And now he just needs 7 evolution points. He can get it within 10 days. That's the benefit of his innate talent. He can get evolution points easily. Surely it takes time, but he can get some evolution points daily. Now that the snow has fallen, he can't go to the stream to catch fish. The water in the stream should be frozen till now. He had a headache now. What should he do now? Should he hunt for other animals? What if he meets one of those big guys? Gulu. I'm so hungry. From waking up to now, he hasn't eaten anything. Looks like he has no other options. He has to go to the forest for hunting. He has only been to the edge of the forest and never explored the interior of the forest. He snuck into the forest cautiously and moved without making any noise. Seriously, the trees here are so big, some of them are as tall as 300 meters. But it makes sense, creatures here are so big, so it's normal for the trees to be big too. He tried to be cautious, trying not to attract any unnecessary attention. Just as he was walking through the forest cautiously, a black shadow sprang out from the tree behind him. Robert felt the danger behind him, so he rolled on the ground to avoid the attack. When he raised his head, he saw a python which was almost 5 times bigger than him. Snakes are silent when they act. I was careless. Robert thought to himself. Warning. A peak chi condensation realm spiritual creature is near the host. Please try to escape as soon as possible. Warning. A peak chi condensation realm spiritual creature is near the host. Please try to escape as soon as possible. System wearing rang 3 times in a row, and Robert felt cold all over his body. Fuck. Yesterday it was a core formation spiritual creature, and now it is peak of chi condensation. Although it's a weaker opponent than White Fang, it's not something he can cope with right now. But he thought about it. It must be a spiritual creature with cultivation base to arrive near him so quickly and silently. If I were to fight with him right now, then other big guys will be alerted and will join the party, so the best option is to escape. Robert didn't dare to stay in this place for too long, and started to escape. However, he underestimated the strength of chi condensation realm spiritual creature. It's simply outrageous. As soon as he moved to escape, the python sprang and entangled him tightly. Immediately after, it opened his blood basin and swallowed him completely, without wasting any time. This python is big enough to swallow him directly. Robert inside the python's stomach was dumbfounded. How can he just swallow him without fighting? Shouldn't he fight him for 300 rounds, and only after he won he should eat him? That's a normal process, but this python skipped all the process and swallowed him directly. Where is the martial ethics? Ugh, I can't talk about martial ethics with some beasts. This time, rather than escaping, he should have fought with python with all strength he got. It's better than being swallowed, but this is not a good place to summarize the battle. He should be thinking about how to escape alive. It's so uncomfortable to breathe here. Robert felt suffocated inside. He tried to attack the python from inside, hoping that the python will have a stomach ache and will vomit him out. But all of this was useless. The more he attacked, the more laborious his breathing became. Robert felt more and more uncomfortable. Fuck, even if I am going to die, then I will eat you before I die. Robert's eyes became fierce and he opened his blood basin to eat python from inside. He opened his mouth to eat the meat wall. But no matter how hard he tried, he could not gnaw a piece of meat. The meat is like rubber. It was stretchable, but even with his mouth, he cannot leave any damage on it. It must be related to cultivation. Abruptly, Robert felt pain all over his body. It should be python's stomach acid that is secreted to digest him alive. Robert struggled and tried to get out from the python's stomach. But it was of no use. His body became weak as time passed by, and it reached the point that he did not have any strength to move. Am I going to die here? The first time I died was when I was going to eat my girlfriend. It was outrageous enough, but now he was looking for food and got swallowed. Both of the times when he thought of eating, he died. Although both of the cases are different, the purpose was the same, that is to eat. Roberts felt his thoughts were chaotic, and he was thinking nonsense. He tried to think of a way to get out of the situation, but he was not able to think anything else.
Am I going to die here?
Chapter 7. It's simply hell mode. Robert was feeling anxious now. Is there any way to escape the current predicament? Robert kept thinking hard. He did not have the flower given to him by White Fang. He concealed the flower safely in the cave. Otherwise, he could have tried to evolve and give it a shot. Robert felt his body is going deeper into Python's stomach. It's already so deadly here. What will happen if he goes inside? He doesn't know the answer, but it's not something good, that's for sure. He tried to hold the place firmly and not to be dragged inside. But he didn't have any place to hold off, so he was getting deeper on the stomach too. A system prompt. Magma jade detected, a good material to make weapons, it is recommended to collect it. At this time Robert hears systems prompt about finding something precious. Collect my ass. My life is on the line, so what's the use of collecting precious materials? What's the use? Robert suddenly thought of something. Maybe can swallow the material and get some evolution points?
And escape the situation?
Although the idea is entirely whimsical, it's better than losing hope. He looked around and saw the boulder. Python's stomach is not big enough for search everywhere. He moved toward the boulder little by little and arrived near the rock. He saw the boulder was pitch black. The python should have swallowed it together with some prey. But Robert was not feeling happy because there was not even a trace of corrosion on the surface of the boulder. It should be inside the python's stomach for some time, but it is not affected by the stomach acid. So how can he swallow it and digest it? A host, the magma jade is inside the boulder. The rock is just an outer shell for the material, although it's very resistant to corrosion. Its weakness is physical attack. The system gave him a hint. It's not even a hint, it's like directly telling him how to get magma jade. Robert raised his hand and slammed on the boulder, but there was no even a crack. Robert felt weak and he decided to give his all to break the boulder.
Boom.
On the surface of the boulder, cracks appeared like a spider web and spread through the boulder. Inside the boulder there was an object emitting bright red light. It is jade with dark red color. It should be magma jade that the system was talking about. The jade fell out from the boulder. Robert picked up the jade and swallowed it in one go. He felt that his throat is burning, but he still swallowed the jade. Although it was painful, he has to bear with it, if he want to live. His internal organs were painful, but it made him awake. At least he will not be unconscious because of the stomach acid. From the corner of his eyes, he saw a small piece of jade came in contact with the acid in Python's stomach. And it melted and burst into flames. But he waited for the system prompt, but there was no prompt. He had a bad feeling about this. A system, how long it will take to digest this magma jade and convert it into evolution points. A host, it will take 30 minutes to digest magma jade. Robert was silent. All the food he had earned previously took a while to be converted into evolution points, and it's the same this time. Although it's only 30 minutes, don't forget where he is now. He is bathing in corrosive stomach acid, and he is very weak right now. On top of that, he has to bear the pain of burning inside him. He thought after devouring the magma, he will get evolution points, he will evolve and become stronger and defeat the python. It is the easy mode he prefers. But now it's simply hell mode. Robert gritted his teeth and refused to die after experiencing so much pain. He has to think of ways to pass these 30 minutes. He looked at the boulder. He can use it to slow down the damage he gets from the corrosive stomach acid. But it's not big enough to cover his whole body, so he can only cover some parts of the body. And there is a lack of oxygen too. He has to breathe slowly. Robert used the boulder to cover his body and rotated the boulder to cover another part of the body every minute. So that it's not only one part of the body that is taking damage. Like this, Robert persisted for 30 minutes, but his condition is very bad. He felt that he could go unconscious at any moment. Ding. You get 3 evolution points. Ding. You get 3 evolution points. Ding. You get 3 evolution points. Robert heard the system's prompt and was surprised and happy. Finally, the digestion should be complete. Before he has 3 evolution points, and now with the addition of 9 evolution points, he has 12 evolution points, which is enough for the evolution. Ding. Evolution points for evolution are collected. Do you want to start evolution? Robert was ecstatic. After hearing this, he answered hurriedly, yes. His hope to escape is on evolution. He can become stronger after evolving. He will not become Superman right away, but at least he will become strong enough to give damage to the python from inside. Ding. Evolution begins. Just then Robert felt pain all over his body. It is more painful than swallowing magma jade. A sensing host's current situation system will decide evolution direction for host. Every time Robert will evolve, he will have evolution direction given by the system. Out of 3 evolution directions, the system chooses the third option. Evolution starts. Chapter 8. Hell Furnace. Robert felt pain throughout his body. It was more painful than before. It was a feeling that the cells and bones all over the body were tearing. Fortunately, the pain disappeared after some time.
Ding.
Evolution complete. The host has evolved successfully.
Ding.
According to system choice, host existing innate talent has gained another ability, Hell Furnace. With this ability, host can devour any object and can convert the energy into 4 types.
Ding.
As the host's level is too low, only one is unlocked and the other 2 are locked for the time being.
Ding.
So for now, host can only have the ability to convert the energy into evolution points, and the other ability is to convert the energy into experience points.
Ding.
Congratulations to host, you have evolved successfully.
Ding.
As the host evolves for the first time, he gets an opportunity to gain one more ability. Host can devour any spiritual creature and will get an ability related to that creature.
Ding.
Host already has 5 experience points, using it for cultivation.
Ding.
Congratulate to the host, you are now at first layer of Chi condensation realm.
Ding.
You need 50 evolution points for the next evolution. After this, Robert did not hear any system prompts, which means his evolution is completed. Which he felt, all the pain from his body disappeared and he is good as new. All the damaged fur on his body is restored to its original. It's too magical. After evolution, all of his injuries disappeared and his exhaustion is gone too. He remembers that the system said he got a new ability related to his innate talent. It's called Hell Furnace. He hurriedly opened the system panel in the order to look for specific information.
Host. Robert.
Evolution points. 0/50. Every time points reach the limit, you will have evolution direction. Species. Giant panda, soul of a human, fairly common spiritual creature.
Innate talent.
1. Hell Furnace. All the objects can be digested within the Hell Furnace, and 70 of the energy can be converted.
1. Evolution points.
Restriction. Only 60 of energy can be converted into evolution points due to the low level of the host.
2 experience points.
Restriction. Only 30 of energy can be converted into experience points due to the low level of the host. 3 currently locked. 4 currently locked. 2 empty. 1 chance remaining to get a new talent. Experience points. 0/10, necessary to upgrade Cultivation Realm. Cultivation Realm. First level of Chi Condensation Realm. Robert looked at the new ability with a dull face. The name is changed from Digestion to Hell Furnace. Although there are many restrictions due to the low level. For him, it's a divine ability. He can now just eat to get more experience points and upgrade his cultivation. Why does he feel that he going on the path to becoming a lazy panda? He can get evolution points by eating before, now he can get experience points by eating too. He does not need to cultivate like those in novels, he just had to eat. And there are other 2 options too which are currently locked because of low level. Who knows what surprises that 2 abilities will bring to him. Robert realized that due to his low level many things are restricted by the system. It will take 50 evolution points for the next evolution and he has 1 chance to get a talent.
What should he choose?
Robert shook his head and put aside this matter for time being. He is still in danger, although he is now in the first level of Chi Condensation Realm, he is no match for the python, who is at the peak of Chi Condensation Realm. He clenched his paws. He wanted to see how strong he has become after evolution. He arrived in front of the meatball and punched the meatball with all of his strength. Unlike Robert, though, there was no special effect like his hands getting covered with intense light and then a boom. This time his hands sunken deeper in the meat wall, but it stopped eventually. The python twisted for a moment and then it was normal. It is like the python felt some pain in his stomach, but it disappears. It's not enough. Robert breathed deeply and opened his mouth and bit on the meat wall. And pulled it with all of his strength. In the end, he chewed a piece of meat from the python's stomach. It worked. This time his attack worked. Mouth is the hardest weapon of a panda. Because of Robert's attack, the python felt painful and started rampaging. Because the damage was from inside the body, the python cannot do anything about this. As the python destroyed a few trees due to the pain, the surrounding big guys were attracted to the python. Python was surrounded by other creatures because for other creatures it is a big prey, so how can they be willing to leave? The surrounding spiritual creature started to attack the python with claws and bites. The python rioted, with blood-red eyes looked at other creatures, and started a bloodthirsty counterattack. Robert was not idle inside, he started to attack the python frantically with his mouth. He bit one all over the python's stomach, but he thought it was not enough, so he started to eat the magma jade. Although he felt it would be painful, he still decided to eat it and convert all the energy into experience points. He needs 10 experience points to increase his cultivation to the next level. In half an hour the digestion should be complete, so he decided to eat all the magma jade. To his surprise, there is no pain in the stomach. Maybe it's because his innate talent is upgraded. But it's best for the current situation. Now he can do some exercise to increase his digestion speed. He started to attack the python from inside to increase the damage. In just 10 minutes he heard the system prompt of getting the experience. In total, he got 20 experience points, and this is only 30 of the total energy digested from the magma jade. But it was enough to upgrade his cultivation.
Ding.
Congratulations, your cultivation is upgraded to second level of Chi condensation realm. After he upgraded his cultivation, his attack power almost doubled. It needs 15 experience points to upgrade to the next level. He did not have any magma jade to get more experience points. But he did not need this because after attacking for a while, he opened a hole from the python's stomach. He ran out of the python's stomach, he looked at the sun. He finally escaped. Robert gasped for breath. He sucked outside air greedily.
I am alive,
he shouted, but then he covered his mouth. He did not want to face other spiritual creatures. He looked around and was dumbfounded by the sight. There were a lot of corpses of spiritual creature on the ground. He looked at the python and saw the python's body is covered with bites of various sizes.
What the hell?
Are they having a battle royale? Then who is the winner? He looked around and saw that there is no one here except for him. Does that mean I am the winner of the battle royale? Chapter 9. I want to eat something delicious. It seems like he won the battle in the end. Robert looked at the bodies of spiritual creatures and was greedy. If he could eat this, then how many evolution points will he get? He can easily evolve 3 or 4 times and can directly jump to the core formation realm, right? Roar. As Robert was the thing about this, there was a huge roar in the forest. The roar frightened Robert. Damn it, I just finished one fight and do I have to fight once again? He wanted to escape this place so that no one could find him. Because of so many corpses, there was a lot of blood spilt on the ground, which attracted other creatures. He has to escape, otherwise there will be another battle royale. And he is not in the peak condition, his whole body is aching. The jungle python's stomach acid is very strong. Even after evolving and getting stronger, he was hurt. But he is unwilling to leave all the corpses here just like this. And with his current strength, he can only take one corpse with him. He decided to take Python's corpse with him as it was the one who tried to swallow him. He wants to swallow Python as revenge. And Python is a peak level of Chi condensation realm. His body should contain a lot of energy. He looked at the Python. At Python's belly, there is a huge gap which he created to escape. There were bite marks all over his body and his whole body looked tragic. You deserve this. Who told you to eat me? He walked over the python body and carried it with much difficulty. It's good that the python was not far away from the place where he swallowed him. Otherwise, Robert did not know how to get back to his lair. The other dead bodies should attract the attention of other beasts, so he should be safe for now. After dragging the body for so long, Robert finally reached the lair. It was already night when he reached home. He gasped for breath. It's heavy. Many times on the road he wanted to abandon the python's body because it is huge and heavy. But for his revenge, he persisted and carried it ill here. And it's dinner time already, he was hungry too, so let's start the revenge. But he has to make a fire to cook python's mood. And it needs a large amount of wood to cook the whole python. It will take a lot of effort to do that. Robert was tired like a dog, so how can he do so much work? He decided to eat the python raw. And he will get evolution points whether it is cooked or not. As Robert ate the meat, he didn't know because he is hungry, but he felt that the python's meat is delicious. After eating, Robert was amazed because he ate all the python meat and there was only the snake skin, fangs and gall remaining. Since when his appetite has increased so much? He devoured the whole python all by himself. A host, because you have evolved for the first time, your body needs a large amount of energy and nutrition to strengthen your body, that's why you were able to eat all the food. At this time system replied to his doubt. He doesn't know the reason, but he felt that the system has become more active since he has evolved. But how can I eat so much meat? I mean, how can my stomach hold so much food? Robert understands systems reason, but he still had a doubt. A host with your innate talent hell furnace. You can digest everything quickly, but it takes time to convert that energy into evolution points. And the energy of all the food you are eating is directly being absorbed by your body for strengthening. So it's not strange that you can eat so much. The system replied to Robert. Robert wanted to ask more questions about this, but he felt sleepy. His eyelids got heavy and he fell asleep on spot. Next morning, when Robert woke up, he felt energetic. He had a good sleep last night. He stretched his hands, but then his movement stiffened because there was another person in the cave. He turned his head stiffly, and when he saw the person, he breathed a sigh of relief. He saw White Fang was sitting there looking at him with curious eyes. No matter how many times he looked at her, it's too cute. But Robert dare not tease her. No matter how cute she looked, it does not change the fact that she is a core formation, spiritual creature. He is simply scum in front of her. Little Fong, long time no see. He can only say this. I came yesterday, and you were not present. I want to eat something delicious. White Fang said straightforwardly. She indeed came here to eat something delicious. Since the day she ate cooked meat, she did not find raw meat delicious anymore. That's the reason why she wanted to find Robert. Don't worry, I will give you another flower in exchange. You seem to like this, that's why I brought another one. White Fang was afraid that he will reject her, that's why she took out another 9-color strange flower. Yesterday, when she came here, she saw that the flower that she gave to Robert was hidden deep inside the cave carefully. She felt strange that time. Why does he keep the flower so carefully? Shouldn't he eat them directly if he likes it? Robert was dumbfounded seeing another 9-color strange flower. That's another 100 evolution points. Isn't this thing precious?
How can she have another one?
No, I don't need this in exchange for feeding you. Robert refused this. Although he was tempted, he didn't want to continue scamming White Fang. In this world, he doesn't know anyone except her. And he knows the importance of having friends. On top of that, she is so strong and beautiful. That's the reason why Robert wanted to make friends with White Fang, and he was sincere at this moment. He didn't want to scam her anymore. Chapter 10. This is what friends are for, right? But White Fang wanted to say something, but Robert interrupted her. No buts. If you insist, then you are not treating me as a friend. Robert's decision was firm. He will not scam her anymore. White Fang was startled after hearing him, but she did not insist on giving him something in exchange for food. Robert was satisfied seeing that she did not insist anymore. What do you want to eat today? Robert asked her. As soon as this question, White Fang's eyes lit up and there was a drool in the corner of her mouth. Same as last time, it was upper delicious. I want to eat fish too, but the stream is frozen and it's too dangerous for us to inside the forest, and there is no water source nearby like a lake or river. You live here for a long time, do you know any lake or river nearby? We can go there to catch fish. It's not that there are no fish in the stream, but there are only small fishes, which is not enough to fill his teeth. That's why he asked White Fang, thinking she might know about the surrounding lakes or river. White Fang was disappointed after she heard that there is no fish. However, when she heard his question, her eyes lit up. Yes, there is a lake nearby, so that means we can eat fish? She is excited knowing that there is fish to eat. Robert was overjoyed after hearing that there is a lake nearby. With a lake, he did not need to worry about food. After yesterday's incident, he was hesitant about entering the forest again. If he has no other source of food, he has to enter the forest to hunt. But it changes everything, he can go there to catch fish. Yes, we can eat fish now, let's go to the lake now. Robert gave her an affirmation and said to her excitedly. White Fang wagged her tail when she heard this. She is happy right now. So what are we waiting for?
Let's go.
Robert did not want to waste any time. He is going to find the lake. White Fang nodded and walked outside with Robert. On the way, White Fang talks to him about the lake. The lake is in the north of his den. But the problem is that no one could go there, because in between many strong monsters are residing. If anyone tried to pass the route, they will attack them. But it's not a problem for them, as White Fang just needs to release the aura of core formation realm, and no one dared to block the way. Robert was alert the whole way, as he heard several systems prompts that he found some foundation realm. This is the community of strong guys. He would not dare to enter even if he had 10 guts. Finally, they reached the lake. The lake is covered with bright white ice, like a sheet of crystals. Surrounding trees were like they have been sprinkled with white dust. This is beautiful scenery. Robert for the first time felt that he is fortunate to be reincarnated in this world. In previous lives, He would not have hoped to see such beautiful scenery for many reasons. He looked at White Fang and saw her looking at him eagerly. He smiled and said, Let's go and catch fish. We need to prepare some tools before catching fish. There are several methods to catch fish, like catching with a fishing rod. But that's not possible now, so the only method Robert can think of is using traps or making a simple wood fishing rod. Before doing anything, he needs to make a hole on the ice sheet. Robert felt excited. This was the life he loves. He is now going to catch a fish without any equipment. What are you doing now? White Fang asked curiously. She is waiting for Robert to catch fish and cook it. But till now all she saw was Robert playing with branches, making a small hole. Is this related to catching fish? I am making a hole so that I can catch fish. And this is a tool called harpoon to catch fish. Robert did not feel strange that she asked him this question. He thought she might not know how to catch fish. He showed her the wooden harpoon he made using some wood. Isn't that hole too small to catch the fish? White Fang asked strangely. Robert is confused after hearing her question. What do you mean by small? I have made a hole with a radius of 90 centimeters. This hole is big enough to catch a shark, not to mention small fish. Robert did not want to make such a big hole, but because his strength has increased during these days, he is not able to control his strength properly. That's why such a big hole was punched out by him. And not she is saying that the hole is small? But soon Robert got the answer to this question. He saw in a distance about 50 meters, the ice on the surface of the lake break apart and a gigantic creature popped out. It looked like a piranha to him, but one gigantic piranha he has ever seen. See, I told you the hole is not big enough to catch the fish. We can use that hole. Let's go and catch that fish with your tool. At this time White Fang said proudly. She felt Robert made a mistake, so she needs to correct him as a friend. That's what friends are for, right? Robert was dumb after seeing the monster fish. He questioned himself, that till now was he eating fish? Not just some tadpoles? He is stupid enough to apply the logic of the previous world says. I should have guessed this before. Robert rubbed his forehead. In this world, every creature is not the same as the previous world. He heard White Fang indeed. They did not need to make another hole. But why are so proud to say this? This makes things more difficult for us. How can we catch the fish with a wooden harpoon? He looked at a harpoon made of wood in his hand and had a toothache. He cannot even scratch the fish with, but with this not to mention catch it. Robert felt a headache. So now how can we catch the fish? All the traps are useless against that gigantic creature. And he does not have a bait big enough to catch the fish. He looked up and saw White Fang hopping around on the ice cheerfully. This girl. Robert shook his head helplessly. She has no concern whatsoever. But that's it, I will forgive her for her fluffy tail and ears. Robert thought to himself. Inadvertently he placed at her tail. He looked at her tail and an idea emerged in his mind to catch the fish, but it just needs her cooperation.